Favorite whore prostitute energy. That's how I feel doing the video today. I burnt myself. That's how I feel today, like a whore. However, let's make love, right? Shout out to everybody joining. Shout out to you watching this video after it's live. I want to discuss a topic that I don't think I've ever talked about on the internet, but since I'm in my prostitution phase of life, I said I might as well create some content in reference to a story that I've never shared before. And it is the specific story of spiritual awakening. The thing about shadow work, the thing about, like, I'll call it microdosing, is that I can go like back in my mind and I actually see those aspects where, you can feel a certain type of way. You can have a certain darkness about you, a certain level of confusion, a certain level of sadness. But at the same time, you can't really pinpoint it or identify it. So you subjectify your personal life experience, your personal pursuits, and the whole entire time, you're like masking over the unhealed trauma that have experienced. And then what microdosing does is allow you to bring consciousness to those areas. So for me, do a lot of journaling. I bought me a motherfucking real ass journal. You see that? You can see that's real ass material right there. That ain't no fucking 99-cent notebook at fucking Dollar Tree. You feel me? But with all that being said, it's very important to uncover those deep, dark aspects of my human experience so I can get more closer to the spiritual being. So I just want to say hello to everyone. Peace and love. I really plan on doing a live reading. Oh, I keep burning myself. You know them incense, they'll burn the shit out of you. Anyways, them incense, boy, 3rd degree burns. Definitely doing on my YouTube, my next bit of prostitution, videos, will be a live reading with the folks. I want to talk to people so bad. I miss y'all. I want to catch up and, possibly provide some solutions. And especially in these days and times where I feel like, a little spiritual assistance ain't never hurt nobody. You understand? Really pride myself on being able to do that and have a reputation for spiritual assistance that's pretty fucking far out. But getting to this point was fucking ridiculous. It was complete and utter madness and chaos. My walk-in story begins like this. I'm gonna work this video to about 7:15, give you a good story, and let y'all enjoy y'all evening. So yeah, my walk-in story begins around 2003. I was supposed to graduate 2002, but I just stopped going to school, which is kind of odd for a person like me. I was a rather nerdy ass motherfucker in school, complete nerd, complete loser, right? Started hanging out with these dudes though, probably going into 10th grade. And in the space of hanging out with these dudes, I lost all fervor for academics, which was crazy because in the 9th grade, I was taking college courses. I started hanging out with street niggas and I completely did a 180, right? And all I wanted to do was do street shit, which was crazy because I was living with my mom, of course, right? So I'm just like on a path to nowhere. And it's like, I don't know, once you fully embrace the street lifestyle, You don't have no guidance. Long story short, I didn't never was around my dad enough for him to guide me or to teach me or to elevate me or to tell me like this is this and what was what. And maybe he did. But as I do deep, dark introspection of my past, I was fucking hard-headed as fuck. You could have gave me the fucking nuclear code to all secrets of life, and I would have just said, fuck you, I don't need that. I just had that weird disposition about me. Anyways, I wasn't a good listener. I had no direction. I had no guidance. However, I was an excellent salesman. I didn't even understand it. I just could fucking sell water to a well. I could sell goddamn pine to an apple. It was just fucking crazy, right? And my friends, like the neighborhood niggas, they was jealous of me. Because, like I said, I jumped off the porch probably in the 11th grade. But when I say I jumped off the porch in the 11th grade, at that time, niggas had been in the street since they was 12. You understand? So, obviously, I'm a nerd. So, the overall disposition in reference to me is that I can't fight, right? I don't got no hands. And I'm assuming that I don't have no hands because I'm a peaceful-ass person. Like, I'm so peaceful, I never want to fight, ever. I don't even like violence. I don't like that concept. However, I was extremely successful in the neighborhood at, selling weed. So I would be selling my little weed, selling a lot of it, and motherfuckers couldn't stand it. So nigga had robbed me. I got robbed twice. First time I got robbed, I told my friends about it. And they said, you gotta go fight him now. And I said, why? Why I gotta fight him? I'm just telling y'all what happened. I don't give a fuck. They like, if you gonna fuck with us, you can't just let niggas steal your weed from you and you not fight them and shit like that. So I say, shit, guess I gotta fight this nigga. So I didn't never know that I could fight. Like that was probably the first time I ever had to like really fight. I mean, playing around with your friends or whatever, but like a real live man fight, I didn't think that I was good at that. Long story short, he's like a, steroid built ass nigga though. I figured I was just gonna lose the fight or whatever and end up winning the fight. So niggas just was like really amazed, but I was more amazed, like I was the shockedest motherfucker in the whole entire scenario. Like, I can't believe I won a fight. And that just increased my reputation in the neighborhood. So, but I'm selling drugs, though, and you can't really just sell drugs in a small town. Canton, Ohio. Yeah, you just can't really just do that. So, anyways, long story short, it was August 26, 2003. I didn't really know nothing or do nothing or really, I was just selling my little weed and trying to be successful as I possibly can be because I just thought that was the name of the game. I didn't necessarily know that niggas would be hating on you and shit like that or plotting to rob you or something. But it's all, I don't know, I guess it's all planned and all figured out. So I'm sitting in this car that I just bought. It don't even run, but I'm sitting in it and I'm listening to David Banner, and this is why I don't like David Banner to this day. Sitting there listening to David Banner, Cadillac on 22s, and I get the sensation, the deep sensation that nigga, you about to go to jail, and you ain't about to ever, you about to go to jail for a long ass time. This is your last moments of freedom. You better enjoy it. So I'm sitting in this car, smoking a blunt, understanding that I'm about to go to jail for a long time. And I just go in the house. And this was 2003. So this was the year Madden was out, and they had Michael Vick on there. So, my neighborhood, I just was I would be waxing niggas, but I would just always pick Michael Vick. But at that time, they didn't realize it was a cheat code. But, later on they did. But at the beginning of that actual shit, I was fucking smoking niggas with Michael Vick. Anyways, these niggas knocked on my door. I'm like, who is it? They're like, Michael. And I'm like, I don't know him, Michael. So I open the door. Like, I don't even know why I even opened the door. I'm stupid to even think to open the door. They covered the fucking peephole. I mean, I was just so fucking green that it just didn't make no fucking sense. Like I said, I never should have been nowhere near the streets. Like, nobody should. That was never a good idea. But, like, you know, I was very hard-headed as a youth. So I think motherfuckers gave me excellent advice my whole entire life. I just never fucking took it because I just figured I knew everything. So long story short, they creep through the door, and it's like a tussle because I'm realizing they trying to impede in my aura space, and I'm just like trying to shut the door, and I'm 2 seconds from overpowering them. And then I hear a gun flash. And then once that gun flash, I felt like my body fell, but my spirit rose. But my spirit didn't rise in a fashion where it was like straight up. It was like a spiral. And that spiral just like, I could experience that spiral like it was just real. And I was spiraling out of consciousness. And it was at that point that I realized that I was dead. It was at that point that I realized that I no longer exist in the 3D plane. And I was okay with that. And they was like, and then I was like gone. And then I was awakened by the assailants hitting me over the head with the gun. Like, where the shit at? Where the shit at? Mind you, I didn't even have no shit because I was just selling a little bit of weed. Like, I didn't have it. Like it was like such a fucking scam, right? It was a huge scam, basically. But it was the appearance of, you know, I'm balling or whatever. But back then, when you selling weed by the ounce, you was making like $20 off an ounce or some bullshit. Like, it was just ridiculously a waste of time. Anyways, that happens. I'm not dead. Come to find out, I didn't get shot. I felt like I got shot. I seen it. I felt death. It was like a momentary time where I didn't exist, and then I'm back here again. And then it was like a movie. I just told them they was stupid too. I'm gonna come back to them. I just tell them grab some coats because they was nervous. We all young and stupid, so they just grabbed some coats. Because as soon as you walk in our house, it's like the closet and I'm just like, it's in the coats. And they just took my word for it, and they just fucking grabbed the coats and left. I know they was extra mad that they just had some old fucking, what's that shit called? Neiman Marcus goddamn coats. My mom used to buy them damn coats out the fucking catalog and shit like that. The leather joints. Anyway. It's funny. But, it's funny now, right? But like a movie, I wake up. I look in the mirror because we have a downstairs bathroom. I look in the mirror and I'm just expecting to feel a bullet hole, but it wasn't a bullet hole. It was just the times that he was hitting me with the butt of the pistol. So quite naturally, the police come. And so, long story short, I was on probation at that time because, like I said, I was consistently spiraling out of control to the point that once this happened, as a violation of my probation on top of some other shit, they scoured the house or whatever. Long story short, like the premonition that I felt, and part of it was me becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy, because that premonition, I told myself that, not like I had to go to jail for a long time. It was the fact that I told myself that I was going to go to jail for a long time. So I did everything that I could to stay in jail for the maximum amount of time. Because the whole thing was a complete and utter initiation. That story was where Kyrie kind of died and the person that you see before you today is existent, because after that event, the police they did take me to the hospital, but they end up arresting me because I was on a probation violation, and I just forego everything. I was like, I needed to understand life, but another thing was facing your fears, right? I was afraid to go to jail, deeply afraid to go to jail, because I felt like whatever jail was going to consist of, not even jail, but prison, a prison sentence, I felt like I wouldn't be able to handle that. But like being in jail was like, I don't know. It was like it's going to sound weird when I say this, but it's the truth. I was the man in jail. Like, and it's like kind of crazy to be the man in jail, and it's nothing but men, right? It's nothing but men, but you got to actually rate yourself in a whole bunch of other niggas, and you got to say, like, you can't be no bitch. You can't be a person that don't have no respect for yourself. All of these particular things, I didn't even know that I had that within me. I didn't know that I was strong. I went into jail like well over 300 pounds. I came out of jail like 250, 240. So it's like from boyhood to manhood, and it was completely like rites of passage, but the whole thing didn't make no sense if you just kind of just walk it through. It's just kind of like some dumbass shit that happened. But when I think about it in retrospect, I get real deep into my voodoo, right? Because the Loa is everywhere. The Loa teaches you that life is not circumstantial. Life isn't based upon accidents and weirdness. Sometimes you can feel like there is no meaning to life, when in fact, if you reference your own personal life, you see all types of meanings in there. But sometimes you forget. Sometimes it gets extremely cloudy based upon the fact that you're not even trying to remember, right? Because there's some level of amnesia that we're experiencing. And for me, I persistently and consistently felt that for years and years and years and years. Even getting out of prison, I didn't immediately get waking up to my spirituality. It was only when I began to study astrology. When I studied astrology, then I was able to really look at myself, because up until really breaking down my chart and then not even like studying it. When I say studying my chart, I'm talking about years and years and notes and notes and notes and notes and reading from this website and that website and this book and that book. But overall, getting to a point where, all right, what does the fuck does this shit mean though, right? How does this translate into reality? And then I started to look at, okay, your sun sign, your moon sign. Okay, how I express myself is this way, but how I feel is that way. Oh, I'm not just this one person that's doing this one person thing. Oh, and I express myself this way, I feel this way, but I love this completely different way. I act this completely different way. And then you start to get into your Neptunes, like my Neptune in third house, where like I'm not even thinking about shit. Really, I'm just kind of chilling, and I'm looking up something about Neptune in the third house, and it says spiritual gifts and psychic voice and all of this type of shit. And it just clicked. It just clicked, like, I need to be doing something with my gifts and my psychic abilities. And this is fucking 2014, right? And at that time, like, I'm talking about astrology and shit like that. And I'm listening to black people saying, fuck astrology. Y'all probably don't remember Brother Panic and all of them, like, and all of the, like, they was on, like, demon time and, boiling hot water and putting grits in it and doing rituals and shit like that. They wasn't caring about the stars and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And once I fucking figured it out, like, boom, I should do it. I started my website and I started studying and I started putting out content and I started doing the YouTube shit. But I was just doing it because, once again, it's all initiation. I don't even know, if you ask me a lot of times why I do the things that I do, I don't fucking have no idea, because the spiritual side of me is way more advanced than my conscious mind. And so sometimes it might feel like, damn, this nigga weird. And it's because consciously I done seen so many fucking miracles happen, or so many different premonitions, or had many type of experiences where I know that it's a spiritual side to me that I'll never fully understand. But that don't never stop me from living in the present and putting out content or doing hoodmystic.com or developing ideas, because when I'm studying my chart, it's like, this is who you supposed to be. Before I started studying my chart, I was just this one person. And it's hard to understand yourself if you really just think of yourself as one person. And that's the kind of communication that I want to really have with y'all. That's kind of the purpose of me expressing and sharing this story, because ultimately I know that y'all had near-death experiences. I know for a fact y'all had near-death experiences, and them was actually initiations to bring about the walk-in spirit. And the near-death experience don't have to be final destination. We talking about depression, wanting to kill yourself, not nothing going right, and you just feeling like, I don't want to be here. And then all of a sudden you start tuning in to spiritual information. People such as Brother Panics, people such as Bobby Hemmett, people such as Miss Blue, and then you start to feel invigorated to know that, oh, it's called alchemy. Oh, you got to transmute your negative energy into positive. Oh, this negative energy just means that I can transform it into positive energy. And if I never experienced the negative, I would have never understood the positive aspects. As rich people that got money, that got all of the shit you wish that you had, and they will commit suicide. And you will never reach the level of success, wealth. You will never have a butler fucking give you a fucking pedicure or manicure, but at the same time you would never think to kill yourself. So you got to really start to think about who you are and what you truly value. And as you begin to really see who you are, you can't just say that I'm just this one person. You have a sun sign, you have a moon sign. Now, it's special people. I don't know if y'all know, like, people like Travis Mages. He got a sun and moon conjunction. Some of y'all got sun and moon conjunctions, and y'all are the person that you think you are. And everybody else around you is completely alien and foreign, and you don't really fuck with everybody in your life. And then you have people that sun opposed moon. These are your successful people. Everybody around you is fucking the alien, because you like, well, why can't you get it? You got to do this and you got to do that. You keep doing this and this, and you be saying that you want that. And then every degree in reference to the sun and moon. But if you don't really grasp that concept, and it's like, of course people want to be super advanced when it comes to astrology, but the basic understanding and fundamental presentation that I laid out with your sun and moon sign, that should just occupy your mind space for at least a year. I mean, even to this day, I'm still grappling with my sun sign and my moon sign, almost to the point that when you really get down to the nitty gritty of sidereal astrology, you really don't need no other sign but your sun and your moon sign. Because I'm going to for sure present myself, and I'm going to for sure feel a way about some shit. Every single day. Sometimes I feel, sometimes I love, sometimes I don't be all in the lovey-dovey mood all like that. Sometimes I just gotta do what I need to fucking do, and sometimes I gotta deal with my inner self, okay? Not sometimes, all the time. So, it's extremely important, man, to get in behind your chart and not look at it as something that's inconsequential and not fundamental to your spiritual growth. I don't want you to rack your head over advanced metrics and symmetrics and geometry and geometrics, what your rising sign is, your north node and your south node. My challenge for you tonight is that you simply examine your sun sign and examine your moon sign, examine how they correlate with each other. Think about how you present yourself and think about how you feel. Don't inquire about me. Don't worry about me. And worrying about me is not going to be your salvation out here in these streets. I'm presenting a very simple formula that can be extremely fundamental to your overall understanding of your spiritual growth. How you express yourself and how you feel, are they in alignment? What are the difficulties that you have in referencing how you feel and how you express yourself? How deep of a corner have you painted yourself into when the facts is you want a threesome, but you know that your husband is not going to be down with the male, female? He's not down with the MMF, but he pays rent on time every month. But you sitting out here wondering how the fuck you gonna get a threesome off with him and his best friend. And the reason that you intrigued by it, because you heard them talking about the train that they ran on the girl in college. And you thinking, well, why can't I be that girl? Why did she get the treatment of the train and I got to just deal with one of y'all? That's how you feel versus how you express yourself. Anyways, I like to throw in a little humor, little jokes, just to make sure that y'all awake. But with that being said, man, y'all enjoy your evening. Be sure to comment your walk-in story, your near-death experience, what triggered your spiritual awakening. Because generally it's through trauma. Generally it's through depression. But these are perfectly in alignment for how we are going to elevate ourselves and make everything one and whole. So don't look at your life as such a bad, negative situation, but look at it as an initiation and the fact that you are a chosen one. Peace.